Hello students, welcome to everyone to this session. This session we will discuss about the JEE Main Shift 2 Math question paper discussion which happened on the 24th of Feb 2021. So let us start discussing the questions one by one. As I hope all of you are aware that the question paper will not be given outside to the students now, but we have got some questions based on the memory of the students who have applied for the test, and we have prepared those questions and I'll be discussing the solutions of those questions. I hope all of you will enjoy this session. So let us start our discussion with the first question. So see this question, find the value of n plus 1 C2 plus 2 times of 2C2 plus 3C2 so on up to NC2. Now we have a property that NCR plus NCR minus 1 will be equal to n plus 1 CR. Very important property to be remembered. Now if you observe this term 2C2 plus 3C2 plus 4C2 so on up to NC2. Now what's the value of 2C2? The value of 2C2 is 1. So in place of 1, we can also write it as 3C3 plus 3C2 plus 4C2 so on up to NC2. Now applying the property I gave, sum of the first two terms will become 4C3, adding with this will become 5C3 so on. So sum of all this will be simplified to n plus 1 C3. Now what is the given question? N plus 1 C2 plus 2 times of n plus 2 C3. Now we don't have any formula for this. 2 times of n plus 1 C3. Now we don't have any formula for this. Now apply the formula for NCR. So n plus 1 C2 will become n plus 1 into n upon 2 plus 2 times n plus 1 C3, which will become n plus 1 into n minus 1 upon 6. Now if we take LCM, what term we can take common in both the terms? N into n plus 1 by 6. We can take common. So taking this common will become 3 times plus 2n minus 2. So if we simplify this term, it will become n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 upon 6. Yeah. So answer will be option 2. This will be the answer. Yeah. Let's do the next one. Now, if A and B are subsets of a set S is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then find the probability that n of A intersection B is equal to 2. So we have to form two subsets of the set X. So first of all, what will be the sample space? First of all, what will be the sample space? Okay. So suppose if we consider the element 1, element 1 can be used in how many ways to form subsets A and B? A and B are the two subsets of the set X. Now, one may be present only in A but not in B. One may be present only in B but not in A. One may be present in both A and B. One may not be present in any of the two sets. So the element 1 can be used in 4 ways to form the two subsets A and B. So each element 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 can be used in 4 ways to form the two subsets A and B. So each element can be used in 4 ways. There are total 5 elements. So all the 5 elements can be used in 4 power 5 ways. This will be the sample space. Now out of these 5, any 2 elements should be present in both. So out of the 5, select any 2. which will be present in both 5c2 ways. Next, the remaining three elements, whatever three elements are remaining, those three should not be present in both. So other than this, they can be present in any of the remaining three subsets A and B, which can be possible in three ways. So there are three different elements. So that can be possible in 3 power 3 ways. So this will be the number of favorable cases. So how much is 5c2? 5c2 will become 10 into 27 upon 1024. So if you simplify this, it will become 135 upon 512. Or you can write 2 power 9. So option 4 will be the answer for this. Okay, let's see the next one. Given that f of 0 is equal to 1 and f of 2 is equal to e square. And it's also given that f dash of x is equal to f dash of 2 minus x. Now let us integrate this on both sides. Integrating on both sides with respect to x. So what will this become? Integrating on both sides become f of x is equal to f of 2 minus x. Now we have to divide this with the coefficient of x, which is minus 1. So it will be minus of f of 2 minus x plus there will be a constant c. So bringing minus term to this side will become f of x plus f of 2 minus x is equal to c. Now let us substitute x is equal to 0 here. So substituting x equal to 0, we get f of 0 plus f of 2 is equal to c. Now the values of f of 0 and f of 2 is given. So we get c is equal to 1 plus e square, right? Next. So we have got f of x plus f of 2 minus x is equal to 1 plus e square. Now what do you need to find? Integral 0 to 2. Let this term be I. So I will be equal to 0 to 2 f of x dx. Now using the property that 0 to a f of x dx will be same as 0 to a f of a minus x. So we can replace x with 2 minus x. Now adding the two equations will become 2i is equal to integral 0 to 2 f of x plus f of 2 minus x dx. Now we have got this value f of x plus f of 2 minus x. How much we got that? As 1 plus e square. So it will be integral 0 to 2 1 plus e square, which is a constant. So you can bring 1 plus e square outside. Integration value will become 2. This is the value of 2i. So we get I is equal to 1 plus e square. So option 2 will be the answer. This little interesting question. It's a little tough to get the idea in the exam. It will come by practice. Let's see the next one. A curve y is equal to f of x passing through the point 1 comma 2 satisfies this differential equation such that integral 1 to 2 f of y dy is equal to 62 upon 5. Then we need to find the value of b. Okay, fine. So what is this given? If you convert it into linear form by dividing with x on both the sides, we get dy by dx plus y by x is equal to bx cube. Now this is in linear form. So to solve this in linear form, we'll find the integrating factor will be e power integration of 1 by x dx will become e power ln x. We can interchange these two terms, will become x power ln e, which is equal to x. So multiplying with x on both the sides and taking LCM, the value become x dy plus y dx is equal to b x power 4 dx. Integrate on both the sides. So this is derivative of x into y. So integration of d of xy will become xy is equal to b times x power 5 upon 5 plus c. Right? Now this should be passing through what point? This should be passing through the point 1, 2. This should be passing through 1, 2 because it's given in the question. So substituting x equal to 1, y is equal to 2. So we get 2 is equal to b by 5 plus c. Let this be the first equation. Now it's also given that integration of 1 to 2, integration of 1 to 2 f of y dy will be same as integration of 1 to 2 f of x dx, just by changing the variable. The value is not going to change. What is f of x? Nothing but y. How much is y from here? b x power 4 upon 5 plus c upon x dx. So integrate this term. So integrating and applying limits become b by 25 times x power 5. 32 minus 1 will become 31 plus c times ln2. This value is given 62 upon 5. Now we have two equations and two unknowns. So solving the two equations, we get c is equal to 0 and we get b is equal to 10. Question is asking us to find the value of b, which will be 10. Yeah, I hope you know how to solve the two equations simultaneously. Let's continue. So the next one. The area of the region defined by 5h square less than or equal to y less than or equal to 2h square plus 9. Now try to plot both these graphs. What does this graphs denote? Y is equal to x square. It will be a parabola opening upwards. So y is equal to 5x square. So it will be more towards the y-axis. And next, y is equal to 2h square plus 9. The vertex will be here somewhere here, 0, 9. Now we need to find area bounded in between these two graphs. Now by symmetry, we can say that area bounded will be 2 times of the area bounded on the right hand side. Now we need to find this point. How to find this point? This will be point of intersection of these two graphs. So solving these two equations, that is 5x square is equal to 2h square plus 9. So solving this, we get x square is equal to 3. So the points of intersection will be, this will become, the x coordinate will become root 3 and the y coordinate will become minus root 3. Now we need to find area enclosed in between the two graphs. So to find area enclosed, as I said, it will be 2 times of the area on the right hand side. So how to find area enclosed? 0 to root 3. Now we need to find area enclosed in between two graphs. It will be the value of y of the upper graph minus the value of y of the lower graph. Right? So what's the value of y for the upper graph? It will be 2h square plus 9 minus the value of y for the lower graph will be 5h square. So now it becomes simple question. 2 times 0 to root 3. It will be 9 minus 3h square dx. So integrate. So 2 times integration becomes 9x minus x cube. Limit 0 to root 3. So substituting limits, it will become 2 times of 9 root 3 minus 3 root 3. So it will be simplified to 2 times of 6 will become 12 root 3. So this will be the answer, option 2. Is how you can solve. See the next one. The aeroplane is flying horizontally with speed of 432 km per hour at a height h meter from the ground. So let us draw a diagram for this type of questions. So let us consider this is the ground. Now, let us consider aeroplane is here. It is flying at a height h. Its angle of elevation from a point on the ground is 60 degrees. So let us say at some point P on this ground, the angle of elevation is given 60 degrees. This complete angle is 60. Now, after 20 seconds, the flight will move somewhere here. Let us name this as B. This angle of elevation from the same point. This angle, after some 20 seconds, this angle becomes 30 degrees, right? Let us name this point as C. And let us name this point as D. This height is also H. Then we need to find the value of H, right? Now, so speed is given. Let us convert that speed from kilometer per hour to meters per second. So 432. So to convert that into meters per second, 1 kilometer is 1000 meters and 1 hour is 60 minutes into 60 seconds. So it will be simplified to 120 meter per second. So this is the speed we have converted. Now, what about this distance AB? Let us consider this distance AB as x. Now CD will also be same as x. So the distance CD. Distance will be speed into time. So speed is 120 meter per second into time is 20 seconds. So seconds will get cancelled. So it will become, the distance of CD will become 2400 minutes. 2400 meters, right? Now in this triangle PAC, if you observe, in this triangle PAC, if you observe, how much is PC? PC will become H upon tan 60. So which is equal to H upon root 3. And in triangle, this is in triangle PAC. What about in triangle PBD? The bigger triangle, if you observe, what do you get? PD is equal to? PD is equal to PC plus CD. So we got PC as H upon root 3 plus we got CD as 2400. This should be equal to, what you can write PD as? H upon tan 30, which is root 3 times H. Now interchange the terms. So will become root 3H minus H by root 3 is equal to 2400. So simplifying this, we get H is equal to 1200 root 3 meters, right? So 1200 root 3 will be the height of this. Option 1 will be the answer. Yeah. I hope this is clear. Fine, let's continue. This is the next one. A curve y is equal to ax square plus bx plus c passing through this point has slope at origin which is equal to 1. Then the ordered triplet. Very simple question. So first of all, this should be passing through the point 1, 2. So these coordinates should satisfy the equation. Substituting x equal to 1, y is equal to 2. We get a plus b plus c is equal to 2. Let this be the first equation. Next, slope at origin. How to find slope? By finding dy by dx. What is dy by dx? Will become 2ax plus b. Now at the point origin, so substituting x is equal to 0, we get b is equal to dy by dx at origin. Slope is given 1. So from this we get b is equal to 1. Substituting b is equal to 1 in the first equation, we get a plus c is equal to 1. So we got b is equal to 1. We can eliminate that. We can say that option 4 cannot be the answer. We got a plus c is equal to 1. So option 3 cannot be the answer. Option 2 cannot be the answer. So the only possible answer that can be possible will be the option 1. Just by getting the value of b and by substituting, we get a plus c is equal to 1. So from there itself, you can say that option 1 will be the answer. The remaining options cannot be the answer. Right? Next, see the next one. The value of tan of 1 by 4 sin inverse. Let us consider sin inverse root 63 upon 8 is equal to theta. If you consider this is theta, what do you need to find? we need to find tan theta by 4. So we can find tan theta by 4. So for that, we have a formula for tan a by 2. We can use formula for tan a by 2 as root 1 minus cos a upon 1 plus cos a. So this is the formula we can use to find the value of tan a by 2. So using this formula, what will be the formula for tan theta by 4? It will become root 1 minus cos theta by 2 upon 1 plus cos theta by 2. So we need to find the value of cos theta by 2. So from this we get sin theta is equal to root 63 by 8. So by using the identities, how much will be the value of cos theta? Cos theta will become 1 by 8. So how much will be cos theta by 2? Cos theta by 2 will be root 1 plus cos theta upon 2. So if you substitute cos theta as 1 by 8, it will become 9 by 16. So square root will become 3 by 4. Now we got the value as 3 by 4. Now substituting the value of cos theta by 2 as 3 by 4. Tan theta by 4 will become root 1 minus 3 by 4 upon 1 plus 3 by 4. So taking LCM and simplifying, the value will be simplified to 1 by root 7. This is the question. If you are good in the formulas of trigonometry, this is an easy question that you can solve. Fine. See the next one. We need to find the value of this integral 1 to 3, step of x square minus 2x minus 2. Right? Now let us complete square method. So we can write this as x minus 1 whole square minus 1 dx. Now integers we can bring outside the step function. So it will become I think it should be x minus 1 whole square minus 3. It will be 1 2 3 x minus 1 whole square step of this minus integral 1 to 3 minus 3 dx. Right? Now let us consider x minus 3 is equal to t. Let x minus 1 is equal to t. So taking x minus 1 is equal to t, what will be the new limits? Substituting x equal to 1 will become 0. So it will become 0 to 2. Step of t square minus 1 minus will become plus. Integration of this will become 6. This should be plus. So this is minus 6. This will become dt. Now we can how to split the limit 0 to 1. The value of this step function will become 0 plus 1 to root 2. 1 to root 2, the value will lie between 1 to 2. Step of that will become 1. And from root 2 to root 3, the value will lie between 2 to 3. Step of that will become 2. And from root 3 to 2, the square of this will lie between 3 to 4. Step of this will become 3. And the last term that remaining is minus 6. So if you simplify this term, the value becomes 0 plus root 2 minus 1 plus 2 times root 3 minus root 2 plus 3 times 2 minus root 3 minus 6. So if you simplify this term, the value becomes minus 1 minus root 2 minus root 3. So this will be the answer, which is option 3. Let's see the next one. Which of the following conic has this tangent at this point? So point is given. How to find tangent at the point? Tangent at a point x1 comma y1 on the curve s equal to 0 is given by t is equal to 0. So apply the statement at this point x1 comma y1 if you apply. So let us see the first equation. X square plus y square is equal to 9. x square plus 9y square is equal to 9. So if you apply t for this at the given point, so it will become x times, we have to replace x square with x into x1. So it will become x times 3 root 3 by 2 plus 9 times y square should be replaced with y1. So y times half is equal to 9. So if you simplify this term, how much 3 root 3 is common? Taking LCM, it will become x plus root 3y is equal to 2 root 3. So the first option itself is giving the answer for us. So option 1 will be the answer for this. See the next one. The negation of the statement. Negation P and P or Q. So we need to find negation of the given statement. So applying the properties, negation of negation P will become P. Or first expand the bracket inside, it will be negation of. If you expand this term, what will this become? Negation P and P, or negation P and Q. So this will be negation of, what is negation P and P? Negation P and P is always false, false, or negation P and Q. So it will be negation of false or anything. It will be same as negation P and Q. So negation of negation will become P and will become or negation Q. So it will become P or negation Q. So option 2 will be the answer. Or else you can also use truth tables to identify this. If you want, you can write truth tables to identify this. Next, equation of a plane passing through this point and the line of intersection of the two planes. Very, very simple question. So you can do using family of planes. So what will be the equation of the family of planes passing through intersection of two planes? First, convert them into Cartesian form. What will be Cartesian form of the first plane? So here r bar is nothing but xi cap plus yj cap plus z k cap. So substituting this r bar and simplifying, the first equation becomes x plus y plus z minus 1 plus lambda times, what will the second equation become? X minus 2y, there's no k term, plus 2 is equal to 0. Now this should be passing through what point? This should be passing through the point 1, 0, 2. So this point should satisfy this equation. So substituting this point here, x is 0, x is 1, y is 0, z is 2. 1 is cancelled. It will become 2 plus lambda times 3 is equal to 0. So we get lambda is equal to minus 2 by 3. So substitute lambda as minus 2 by 3. So the equation becomes x plus y plus z minus 1 minus 2 by 3 times x minus 2y plus 2 is equal to 0. So taking LCM and simplifying will become x plus 7y plus 3z is equal to 7. Now if you want to convert it in vector form, it will become r bar dot I cap plus 7j cap plus 3k cap is equal to 7. So it will be r bar dot I cap plus 7j cap. So option 1 will be the answer for this. This is how you can solve. See the next one. A is a 3 by 3 square matrix and B is a 3 by 3 skew symmetric matrix and X is a matrix of order 3 by 1. Then the equation A square B square minus B square A square times X is equal to 0, where 0 is a null matrix, has how many solutions is what we need to find. So it is given that I think it's not a square matrix. I think this should be given as symmetric. There's a printing mistake in the question. A is a square matrix and B is a skew symmetric matrix. So what is the property of symmetric matrix? A transpose will be same as A and B transpose will be equal to minus B. Now let us consider A square B square minus B square A square is equal to P. Now what will be P transpose? So if you find P transpose, it will become A square B square whole transpose minus B square A square whole transpose. So simplifying this term, it will become AB whole transpose will become B transpose times A transpose minus A square transpose times B square transpose. So if you simplify this term, so B transpose is minus B whole square will be same as B square into A square minus A square into B square, which is equal to minus of P. So therefore, P is skew symmetric. P is skew symmetric because P transpose is equal to minus P. And from this we can say that determinant of P will become 0 because once again skew symmetric of odd order. For any skew symmetric matrix of odd order, the determinant will become 0. So as determinant of P is becoming 0, we can say that pH equal to 0 have infinite solutions. Because the determinant is becoming 0 and the right hand side is anyway 0. So it forms a homogeneous equation in the form A into X is equal to 0. If determinant of A becomes 0, then X will have infinite solutions, right? So answer for this will be infinite solutions. Let's continue. F of if determinant of this is given and f of 0 is given 1, f dash of 0 is given 2, then f of 1 will belong to which interval is what we need to find. So expanding this determinant, we get f of x times f double dash of x minus f dash of x whole square is equal to 0. Now let us consider some other function h of x, which is equal to f of x upon f dash of x. Now what will be h dash of x? What will be h dash of x? Applying derivative for u by v. So it will become f dash of x whole square minus f of x times f double dash of x upon f dash of x whole square. This is what we get is equal to 0. So h dash of x is equal to 0. So from this we can say that h of x should be a constant function. Let it be k. So from this we can say that f of x will be equal to k times f dash of x. And substituting x equal to 0, we have given that f of 0. F of 0 is equal to k times f dash of 0. So from this we get k is equal to half by substituting the values of f of 0 and f dash of 0. The value of k will become half. So from this we can say that f of x is equal to f dash of x upon 2, or you can bring 2 to this side. Now interchange the terms. So from this we can say that f dash of x upon f of x dx will be equal to 2dx. Now integrating on both the sides, what will be integration for this? Ln mod f of x is equal to 2h plus c. Now, substituting h equal to 0, f of 0 is given 1. So LHS and RHS both become 0. So from this we get c is equal to 0. So from this we get f of x is equal to plus minus of e power 2x. So what will be f of 1? F of 1 will be e power 2. So which will lie in between what value? The approximate value of e is 2.8. So 2.8 whole square will be approximately 8.3. So it should lie in between what value to what value? It should lie in between 6 to 9. Option 1 will be the answer. I think it's 2.7. So it will be approximately 7 point, you can say 7.5. Yeah. So the value will be in between 6 to 9. See the next one. Find a point on this curve which is at shortest distance from this line. So the property is that this is a parabola and this is a line. The point at the shortest distance, at this point if you draw a tangent, this tangent should be parallel to the given line. This is the property. Both should be having a common normal. So this is the property of the shortest distance. So we don't know this point. Let this point be x1 comma y1. Now this point should satisfy this equation. So we get y1 square. Sorry, we get y1 is equal to, the first equation will be substituting this point x1 y1. We get y1 is equal to x1 square plus 4. And what will be the slope? Slope will become dy by dx. At this point will become 2 times x1 should be equal to 4. So from this we get x1 is equal to 2. And substituting x1 is equal to 2, we get y1 is equal to 8. So therefore point is 2, 8. Simple question. Next, so 16. F of x is given. So we need to find the interval in which the function is increasing. So for that find f dash of x. So differentiating in all these intervals, it will become minus 55, x less than minus 5. And derivative for this will become 6x square minus 6x minus 120. In the interval minus 5 less than x less than 4. And in this interval, it will be 6x square minus 6x minus 36. When x is greater than equal to 4, greater than 4. So if you observe here, we need to find whether it is increasing. So for the function to be increasing, derivative must be positive. So we need to identify when is this derivative positive. So if you find factors for this, we can write this as minus 55, taking 6 common. The factors will be x minus 5 into x plus 4, 6 times x minus 3 into x plus 2. So x less than minus 5, minus 5 less than x less than 4, x greater than 4. So in what intervals it is increasing? It depends on when the derivative is positive. So in between minus 5, till where it is, if you apply wavy curve for this, for the second one. So the points will be minus 4, and 5. So it will be plus, minus, plus. But we have to consider the only interval from -5 till -4. So from -5 to -4, it is positive. Sorry, -5 to +4 is what you have to consider. So in that, from here, the solution for this part will be -5, comma 4, right? Because the interval is only from -5. Okay, -5 till -4. It is positive. And from here, from 4 to infinity, if you observe, if you apply wavy curve for this, the points will be -2 and 3, plus, minus, plus. So positive from 3 to infinite. So it will be from 4 to infinite. From the first one, there will be no possibility. So the final answer will be union of all these intervals, which is -5, comma -4, union 4, comma infinite. So if you observe, option 1 will be the answer for this. Okay. So the next one. If ABC are in AP and centroid of the triangle with vertices is given, and alpha and beta are roots of this equation, then we need to find alpha square plus beta square minus alpha beta. So from the first condition, ABC are in AP, we can say that 2B will be equal to A plus C, and centroid is given. What will be the formula for centroid? Sum of x coordinates upon 3 and sum of y coordinates upon 3 is given as 10 by 3, comma 7 by 3. Now comparing the coordinates, we get 2a plus 2 is equal to 10. So we get a is equal to 4. So we get a is equal to 4 and 2b plus c is equal to 7. Now substituting it's a is equal to 4. We get 2b minus c is equal to 4. So solving these two equations, we get b is equal to 11 by 4 and we get c is equal to 3 by 2. So the quadratic equation becomes 4h square plus 11 by 4x plus 1 is equal to 0. So we need to find the value of alpha square plus beta square minus alpha beta. So which you can write it as alpha plus beta whole square minus 3 alpha beta. How much will be alpha plus beta? Minus b by a. So it will become minus 11 by 16 whole square minus 3 times alpha beta. Alpha beta is c by a, which is 1 by 4. So if you simplify that, the value will become minus 71 upon 256. So option 1 will be the answer. Next. So this is also a very common question that you have seen. You must have seen this many times before. This type of question. The approach is a very standard approach that we are having. So we are having a times f of x plus alpha times f of 1 by x is equal to bx plus beta by x. Now in place of x, replace 1 by x. Substituting x with 1 by x will become a times f of 1 by x plus alpha times f of x is equal to b times 1 by x plus beta times x. Now add the two equations. Let this be the first equation and let this be the second equation. Adding these two equations, what do we get? We get a plus alpha times f of x plus f of 1 by x is equal to b plus beta times x plus 1 by x. Now the value of a plus alpha is given as 1, b plus beta is given 2. So from this, what do we get? We get f of x plus f of 1 by x upon x plus 1 by x will be equal to b plus beta is given 2, a plus alpha is given 1. So the value will become 2 for this. So it's a numerical question. The answer will become 2 for this. Next, C19. Find the maximum value of k, for which the maximum value of variance of 10 elements is 10. Variance is sigma square. Maximum value is 10. And there are 10 observations in which 9 values are 1. So 9 values are 1 and 1 value is k, where k is a integer. We need to find what can be the maximum value of k. So applying formula for variance. So it will be sigma xi square upon n minus sigma xi upon n whole square. This is the formula for finding variance. So the data is 1 added 9 times. So it will become 9 plus k square upon 10 minus 9 plus k upon 10 whole square. So it is given that the maximum value is 10. So this term should be less than or equal to 10. So take LCM and simplify this term. So taking LCM and simplifying this term, this equation becomes 9k square minus 18k plus 9. By taking LCM, it will become 1000. I took LCM and simplified. This is what we get. Now we need to solve this. So if we can take 9 common, it will become k minus 1 whole square. Should be less than or equal to 1000 upon 9. So from this we can say that k minus 1 should be less than or equal to 10 root 10 upon 3. So the value of k should be less than or equal to 10 root 10 upon 3 plus 1. So the maximum integral value of k. So the maximum value will become 11 because this value will be 11 point something. Right? Okay. So this is the question. The maximum value of k is what we need to find, for which the maximum value of variance of 10 elements is 10, in which 9 values are 1 and 1 value is k. So I have solved that here. So see this question and the solution. So this is the question which I have solved in the previous slide. Okay, see the next one. Distance of the point p h comma y from 5 comma 0 is thrice as distance of p h comma y from minus 5 comma 0. The locus of p is a circle. It's a very simple question. So it is given that pa upon pb. If you name this point as a and this point is b. So distance from a is 3 times distance from b. So this point is dividing in the ratio 3:1 pa upon pb. If you name them as 2 points, so 1 point will be dividing in the ratio 3:1 internally, and 1 more point will be dividing in the ratio 3:1 externally. So distance between these two will become the diameter of that circle. Distance between these 2 points will be the diameter. So if you find the points which are dividing internally and externally, the point which divides internally will be minus 5/2 comma 0, and the point which divides externally will be minus 10 comma 0. You can apply section formula for this. So to find the point P, it will be mh2 plus minus nx1 upon m minus n. Same way for the y coordinate. The ratio is 3:1 internally and 3:1 externally. This will become the radius. So what will be the diameter? 2r will be the diameter. So how much will be diameter? Distance between the 2 points, which is 15/2. Right? So which is 7.5. So we need to find 4r square, which is 7.5 whole square, which will become 56.25. This is a relatively easy question to solve. So the next one. Four numbers whose sum is 65/12 are in GP. So let us consider the four numbers as A into R, AR square and AR cube. So sum of these numbers in GP is given. So that means A plus AR plus AR square plus AR cube is 65/12. And sum of their reciprocals is given 65/18. So 1 by A plus 1 by AR plus 1 by AR square plus 1 by AR cube is given 65/18. So if we take 1 by A common and taking LCM will become R cube plus R square plus R plus 1 upon R cube is equal to 65/18. Now divide the two equations. When you divide, A will go to the numerator. This will get cancelled. So it will become A square into R cube is equal to 18/12, which will become 3/2. Next, the product of the first three of these terms is 1. So multiplying the first three terms, we get A cube R cube is equal to 1. So from this we get A times A square into R cube is 3/2 is equal to 1. So from this we get A is equal to 2/3. So we get A is equal to 2/3. Substituting the value of A as 2/3, we get R is equal to 3/2. So substitute A is equal to 2/3 and R is equal to 3/2. Third term is alpha. So we need to find 2 alpha. So 2 times third term is A into R square. So we have got A into R is 1. So it will become 2R. 2R is nothing but 3. So 3 will be the answer for this. So next one, there are 10 students, S1, S2, 7 to S10. Find the number of ways to form 3 groups such that all groups has at least one member and group 3 has at most 3 members. We need to form 3 groups. All these should be having at least one and group 3 should be having at most 3. Okay, see this. So see the, let us write the different possibilities. Group 1 having 1 and group 3 also having 1. Then group 2 can have 8. Next 2, 7, 1, 3, 6, 1. So all possibilities of group 3 having 1 will become 8 and 1, right? So this for the first part, when group 3 is having only 1. Next, if group 3 has 2, then group 1 and 2 should be having 7. Next case will be group 3 having 3. So let us do all these cases. Now group 3 should be having any one person. So out of the 10, select any one person to be in group 1. Now the remaining 9 students can be distributed in how many ways? There are two groups, we can distribute them in two power ways, but all cannot be in group 0, group 1, all cannot be in group 2, right? This for the first possibility. Next, if any two are in group 3, 10C2. Now all these remaining 8 can be in any of the two groups, but none of them can be having all 0 or all the 8. Same way for 10C3, if group 3 has 3 students, then the remaining groups will become 2 power 7 minus, simplifying, will become 2. So it will be 10 times 510 plus 10C2 is 45 times 254 plus 10C3 will become 120 times 126. It's a lengthy calculation. If you simplify that, the value becomes 26,650. Just by taking the 3 cases and writing all possible values, this is how you can solve. See the next one. A point 5, 7 is on this circle. Okay. And the tangent and normal is drawn. The area of triangle formed by this tangent normal with x-axis is lambda. So we have a circle having center at 2, 3 and radius is 5. So we get a circle in this form. Now there's a point 5, 7 somewhere here. So at this point we are drawing a tangent and also we are drawing a normal. Normal should pass through center, right? We need to find area of this triangle made by the tangent and normal with the x-axis. This area is what we need to find. So this forms a right angle triangle. You can use half base into height. So how to find equation of normal at this point T? So this is the center 2, 3. If you name this point as A and this point as B, we don't know this point. Let this point be some A, 0 or B, 0. And let us say this point is A, 0. Now these 3 points should be collinear because the normal should pass through the center. So applying condition for collinearity, what do we get? Slope should be same. So we get 7 minus 3 upon 5 minus 2 should be equal to 7 minus 0 upon 5 minus b. So from this we get 5 minus b is equal to 21 by 4. So we get b is equal to 5 minus 21 by 4, which will become minus 1 by 4. So the point b will become minus 1 by 4 comma 0, right? The equation of tangent at p. So what is slope of this? Slope of PB is 7 minus 3, 4 upon 3. So slope of PA will become negative reciprocal minus 3 by 4. So what will be equation of PA? Using point slope form. The point is 5, 7. So the equation becomes 3x plus 4y, or even without finding the equation. So we got slope of PA. So applying that formula will become 7 minus 0 upon 5 minus a is equal to minus 3 by 4. So we get 5 minus a is equal to minus 28 by 3. So from this we get a is equal to 43 upon 3. Now area becomes half base into height. So half AB times height. So half AB. What is the distance between them? It will be 43 by 3 plus 1 by 4 times height. What will be the height? Height is 7. So simplifying this term, the value becomes 172 plus 3, 175 upon 24. So it is given that the area is lambda. So if we find 24 lambda, the value becomes 125, 175 into 7, which will become 1225. So this will be the answer for this. So these are some of the questions that we have seen in the shift 2 of 24th Feb. So thank you everyone.